Hey there, my name's Wyatt Pike. I'm a 19-year-old singer-songwriter from Park City, Utah. I just released my debut EP. It's called Brand New Boy. I'm excited to share with you some of the recording process and the steps it took to get to release. So, check it out. Thanks for watching. I'm going to start this whole thing out by talking about the studio that the record was made at. It's called Pale Horse Sound down in Sugar House, Utah. The guy that runs it, Greg Downs, is just an all-star. He records, mixes, masters, engineers, does it all. He owns the studio. He's a great guy. And I actually met him March-ish, 2019. I played bass with the Backseat Lovers for a show there and knew that he had done a great job with their record, so reached out to him in December 2019, and we got the ball rolling, and we're recording by February. The whole recording process started out with scratch tracks. I made those in my bedroom at home with a couple of mics I had lying around, and took my guitar and just played through the songs with a metronome. Served as a guide to create the whole rest of the song on. You basically layer on top of it, and then by the end you don't need the scratch track anymore. So that's where that started. The first day in the studio was February 5th, 2020. We started with drums that day on top of the scratch tracks. I'd played percussion through all high school, so I had a bunch of training on concert snare and other sorts of drums and keyboard instruments, but I tried to warm up a little bit on an old suitcase I have with some drumsticks. That didn't go very well. It felt nothing like a drum, but I guess it got my wrists moving. And I went into the studio thinking I could ace the parts I wanted to, the parts I had visioned in my head, and I just couldn't do it. I was really struggling to play drums, and it was almost embarrassing, and so Greg and I slowly navigated through simplifying the drum parts, and a lot of the drum parts on the record are pretty simple, but it's just a matter that I couldn't play anything more complicated and wanted to play the drums, and didn't have a drummer that could come in and do it that day. So played all the parts for the drums. They're all pretty simple, and it was pretty fun to navigate that. The next day in the studio was all tracking bass over drums and the scratch tracks. I've played a bunch of bass, played for the Backseat Lovers last year, and went in and played the parts pretty much how I wanted to, and was definitely writing them a little bit in there. Greg and I were bouncing ideas back and forth, but those came together pretty well. I did have this grand plan of filming the whole recording process, and that didn't go so well. I got distracted by making the music, so didn't want to invade in on myself and Greg too much as we did that studio magic, but I've got some footage from other instruments, but none of bass. On the guitar. The guitar is definitely the centerpiece of the record, along with vocals. All the tunes were written on my old acoustic guitar. I actually ended up taking a loan from my mom to buy a slightly nicer acoustic guitar for recording. Definitely still paying that one off. But we recorded all the acoustic guitar parts. That went pretty smoothly. I definitely had them down. I'd practiced a bunch. It took maybe more takes than it should have, but we definitely got what I was going for, and I think it worked out pretty well. Next up was electric guitar. In general, I've played a lot more acoustic, so it's a little foreign. Obviously, it's the same instrument, but I definitely don't have all the soloing and fancy chops I wish I had. So I went in thinking I'm this rock star and tried to play all these complicated guitar parts, and Greg called me out in the best way possible. Hey Wyatt, we're not trying to make a guitar record. We're trying to make this vocals, singing, lyric oriented record. So he called me out there, and that was so helpful to just let the guitar parts be in addition to what we've already created, as opposed to the centerpiece. So tracking those electric guitar parts was a mental challenge to simplify these grand ideas I had and couldn't play. So that was a slightly defeating day, because I went home thinking, I kind of overdid it, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I ended up listening to the rough mixes on the way home and got re-inspired and felt awesome going in the next day and banged out the rest of the guitar parts. As the record came along, Greg and I realized that some piano could be cool, kind of hidden within some of the tracks. Initially that wasn't the plan. It was just going to be bass, drums, guitars, and vocals, all parts that I could play. But I'm not a great piano player, so I invited a friend, Will Sangster. He's just a rock star, plays a lot of blues and all kinds of great piano. And he came in, we had rehearsed the night before. I think he had an hour or an hour and a half before he had to make it back up the canyon to work. So we basically set him up, and Greg and I sat in the control room and just said, yep, keep playing, and did as many takes as we could while he was there. So there's piano on a couple tunes, and that's a special thank you to Will Sangster.
Hi, Greg. We're recording piano.
On the day that we recorded bass, this descending bass line into the chorus of Deeper Into Love came out of my fingers. And Greg and I both liked it and realized the more we listened to it that it would be cool to add some horns in there and just kind of add more depth. So I invited a friend, Zane Peterson, who's an amazing saxophone player, and he came in, total pro. I think we tracked the whole, small line, but we tracked the whole thing about 45 minutes, which felt very quick in studio time. And he played it on alto and tenor and super quick and easy. So thank you, Zane, for that. I love that sax line. I wish I could play it myself. The mixing and mastering process was way quicker than I would have imagined. I sat in the control room and basically just watched Greg work his magic, just in awe over how much goes into it and how good it can sound after he does it. And I remember getting the first master back. He had texted it to me super late, I think maybe midnight or 12:30, and I had woken up later in the night, maybe at 1 or 1:30, saw it and listened to it, and it just blew my mind. I couldn't really sleep for the rest of the night, and it was so special to get that first taste of what the record was going to sound like. After I got the masters back, it was all about creating a visual world for the EP and what it was going to look like, what it was going to feel like. And a friend of mine, Blake Becken, who's an amazing photographer, offered to help me out and take some photos of me. And I had this idea for the album cover being, I'm going to hold this red ice cream, it's going to be on a cone, and it's going to melt all over my hand, it's going to be snow all around me, it's going to be super weird and not make any sense. And I don't know why I wanted to do that, but that was the idea. So we went and we shot that, and they were great photos. They were super cool. But we ended up, there were a few photos from the end of that shoot that were more the look I was going for and the vision I had. So we ended up doing another shoot in Emigration Canyon, and that's where we got the photo for the album cover. Funny story about that first shoot with the ice cream. I hadn't eaten enough that day and got all lightheaded and dizzy and went to sit down on the side of the trail and couldn't see straight. I couldn't think. I was just about to pass out. And Blake saved my ass with a Cliff Bar, so stocked up on Cliff Bars after that. Thanks, Blake, for helping me out there. Next, it was onto the single cover. I reached out to a friend of mine, Stephen Vargo, who took some photos of me last fall for Park City Magazine. And he had posted this white coffee cup with a white lid over a white background, and it was super interesting. For whatever reason, I really liked it. And so I reached out to him and I said, hey, can we do something similar for the single cover? And he was totally game. And so I went down to a print shop. We rolled out a big piece of white paper, put the hat on it, and he worked his magic with a lens. And it turned out great. So thank you, Stephen, for that single cover. That was super fun and super interesting to see that process. So thank you. Well, I sit here with 3 more days until the EP comes out, and it's been a dream come true. And I keep saying that these songs have written themselves for 19 years. It's really only been 12. I have this first memory of writing a song. I was 7, sitting at my family's piano, writing about my cousins. They had just left town, and it was, wish you were here to see me cry, to see me die for you. I miss them. I wanted them to still be in town, right? Very dramatic, kind of ridiculous, but definitely sparked this love for writing and for playing and just music in general. So since then, it's always been a dream to release music, to play music, and listen to music, anything music. I'm all for. So it's all coming together now. 3 days, and it's just a dream come true. I can't wait to give you these songs. So thanks for listening to them in advance. I do want to extend a thank you to my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, my uncle, my aunt, all of the above, for always encouraging me to do this music thing and lighting the path to do it. So thank you. And also a thank you to Greg Downs, Will Sangster, Zane Peterson, Jack Park, Blake Becken, Stephen Vargo, and everyone else that helped me to make this record a reality. I could not have done it without any of you, and thank you. And finally, let's talk about the name of the record, Brand New Boy. I wrote Deeper Into Love 2 days before I went into the studio. It was after a bunch of months of not being in school, of playing a bunch of music, and really living the life I wanted to. And through that, I realized I needed to be a kinder person. Through high school, I can say I wasn't, and definitely wasn't the realest, definitely wasn't the nicest, and it's something I regret. So I think through taking time to discover myself and realize what I want to do, it was a catalyst for being a nicer person and I guess falling deeper into love and trying to be the nice guy. So that's where the album name Brand New Boy comes. You can listen to the end of that song and it kind of explains itself. Brand New Boy, that's the name of the record. There it is.
I'm happy as this brand new boy. I'm happy as this brand new boy. I'm happy as this brand new boy.
Well, thank you for tuning in. My name is Wyatt Pike. I hope you're all happy and healthy and staying safe during this crazy time. I'm excited that I can do a EP release live stream for you, and it should be fun. I'm going to tell a bunch of stories and play all the songs off my recent EP. It's called Brand New Boy, and it released just yesterday. Before I get started, I do want to thank Greg Downs and Mr. Tyler here. They're both helping me make this live stream look nice for you. So thank you both, and let's do it. This is the first tune off the record. It's called Because of Me.
Gone are the days I'd sneak to your place, fall asleep tangled with you in stained sheets. Something has changed, I don't like it this way. I know it's because of me. I'll look back on the nothing you did wrong. You loved me perfectly. Could have stayed the same. I don't like living this way. I know it's because of me. I hope that one day we'll fall into love again. I don't want to hear you say goodbye. Goodbye to the way that I said I loved you. Yeah. Goodbye to the places we wanted to go now. Goodbye to the times that you said that you wanted to marry me. Goodbye to the way I always called you my everything. Oh, let me take it back. Let me take it back. Oh, she wasn't worth this pain, wasn't worth your pain. No. 3 days away, I never thought we would change. 3 days away from you, a few months down the drain. What can I say? I'm sorry and I love you. You don't seem to believe that anymore. I don't wanna hear you say goodbye. I don't want to hear you say goodbye. Goodbye to the way that I said I loved you. Goodbye to the places we wanted to go on our own. Goodbye to the times that you said that you wanted to marry me. Goodbye to the way I always called you my everything. Gone are the days I'd sneak to your place, fall asleep tangled with you in stained sheets. Something has changed, I don't like it this way. I know it's because of me. Oh, because of me. Because of me. Because of me. Well, there's the first tune off the record. It's called Because of Me. And that's one that I wrote late last year about a girl I really liked. And I had screwed things up and wanted to make them right, but worked on it, and that's just how life goes. So that's the tune called Because of Me. First one off the record. As I tune up here for the next song, I'm going to mention it's about my wonderful sister. And I wrote it, I think this is actually the oldest song on the record. I wrote this early in my senior year of high school. I was coming to terms with all sorts of anxiety and that sort of thing. And it was something my sister had dealt with for most of her life and felt interesting and emotional to be on the same page. So I wrote this song. This was a single. It's called Because of... Nope, it's not called Because of Anything. It's called Best for You. There we go. What's going on in that head of yours? Can I help or will I hurt? Did something happen to us? Of course, I don't like this feeling anymore. And I really hate to see you cry. Makes it seem there's nothing inside. Can I help to break your fall? I'd like to, but I don't know it all. And the truth is I've been holding on to something. You've been running forever, or could I feel something like this? I hold back every time, but I love all the things you do. And I don't say it enough, but I just want the best for you, man. Oh, I don't say it enough, but I just want the best for you, man. whatever happened to happy thoughts? Did you break or are you gone? Did we grow up way too fast? Of course, I don't like this feeling anymore. And I know I'm not there all the time. You just seem so hard to find. Can I be someone to talk to? I'm reaching out to you. And the truth is I've been holding on to something. You've been running forever. Could I feel something like this? I hold back every time, but I love all the things you do. I don't see it enough, but I just want the best for you, man. Just want the best for you, miss. Sisters shouldn't have to feel this way. Maybe this sibling dynamic is to blame. Feel that I have done everything I should have when we were younger. Is it too late to change this stalemate taking love's place? And the truth is I've been holding on to something. You've been running forever. Could I feel something like this? I hold back every time, but I love all the things you do. And I don't see it enough, but I just want the best for you. And the truth is I've been holding on to something. You've been running forever. Could I feel something like this? Hold back every time, but I love all the things you do. I don't see it enough, but I just want the best for you, miss. I don't see it enough, but I just want the best for you, miss. I don't see it enough, but I just want the best for you, miss. I don't see it enough, but I just want the best for you, miss. That's called Best for You. And that's a song about my sister. It's for you, Hazel. I love you. One lesson I did learn through this record-making process, songwriting process, is that the more tunings you use, the cooler things may sound, but the more difficult it is to transition between songs. And it's something I should have known. I've seen a lot of bands that have to tune up all the time, and I guess I'm one of them. So tuning up. This next song is called Deeper Into Love. And it's a song I wrote 2 days before I went into the studio. By the way, did I mention I'm standing pretty much exactly where I recorded all the vocals for this record and played the drums for this record, under this light right here with Greg Downs, who's helping me sound good right now. Anyways, Deeper Into Love was written 2 days before I showed up here for the first day. We recorded drums that day. But I needed a fifth tune for my EP. And to backtrack a little bit, at the end of high school, I was enrolled in College of Charleston, South Carolina. And I was all set to go. I went to orientation, and I had my classes. I had a roommate, all of that. And about a week before, I decided, I'm not going to be happy if I don't try this music thing and if I don't pursue it at least a little bit here. So I decided to withdraw. It made my parents pretty mad, confused the hell out of me, but we worked it out, and I've made this record in the time since. So spent a bunch of time writing songs, a bunch of time learning songs, playing gigs, and this is the song I wrote right before the studio. It's called Deeper Into Love. Here, spend the night with me, hold me in your arms. I wanna feel our heat build beneath my bed sheets. I've never felt close like this before. I never want you to close your doors. I found you're the person I adore. Please stay, I wanna show when I wake in the morning, make you a cup of coffee. Stumble to the stove to make pancakes. You can count on me. Run your hair through my fingers. I like the way it feels. I'll get stuck and you wake to catch me. Falling deeper into love, falling deeper into love. I've made plenty of silly mistakes. I've twisted hearts and ran when they began to break. I'm not proud of the things I used to do. I'm proud of the boy I am when I'm with you. When I'm with you. I've never felt close like this before. I never want you to close your doors. I've found you're the person I adore. Please stay, I wanna show when I wake in the morning. I'll make you a cup of coffee. Stumble to the stove to make pancakes. You can count on me. Run your hair through my fingers. I like the way it feels. I'll get stuck and you wake to catch me. Falling deeper in love. Oh, I'm falling deeper in love. I'm falling deeper in love. Oh. I'm falling deeper into love. I'm falling deeper into love with living my life. I'm falling deeper into love. I'm falling deeper into love. We're trying to be the nice guy. I'm sinking into my skin. This means everything. I'm starting to find my joy. I'm happy as this brand new boy. 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 That's a tune called Deeper Into Love. You can hear there at the end, it says, I'm happy as this brand new boy. That's pretty evidently where the EP title comes from. But as I mentioned, that tune was written just before I came into the studio, so the record name was also thought of 2 days before I came into the studio. But I did enjoy that spontaneous sort of nature to this whole record, and there's a little bit more on that. That tune, Deeper, really isn't complete without two of my good friends playing the hell out of their instruments on it. I'd like to thank William Sangster. He's a fantastic piano player, plays a ton of organ, some synth. He actually just did a record in this very room. Should be out very soon. Sundog Sky, check him out. But he came down, I think he had an hour and a half before he had to be at work. And Greg and I had set up the piano and just told him, keep playing, like, you're doing great, and just got as much as we possibly could, and it was all just awesome. So thank you so much, Will. I hope you're watching, but if not, thank you anyways. And also a good friend, Zane Peterson. I went to high school with Zane. Went to high school with Will, too, but Zane and I played in the varsity jazz ensemble at Park City High, and Zane is just a phenomenal saxophone player. Like, oh my, he's just that good. And as Greg and I navigated through this recording process, that Deeper Into Love song, it's got this descending bass line in it. When I wake in the morning, make you a cup of coffee. And that's where we decided maybe some horns could add some depth in there. And so I think I messaged Zane and said, hey, could you come down on Monday? And it was maybe Friday or Saturday. It was very, very last minute. And Zane was game, so I think he had a half hour or an hour between work and school, and he came down with two saxophones, played it on alto, played it on tenor, and he added so much to that song. So thank you so much, Zane, if you're watching. That song is not complete without either of you. I wish I could play saxophone, piano, and guitar and sing at the same time, but thankfully I have you guys to do it for me, so thank you so much. I'm going to have a sip of water here, and then we'll get on to the next tune. Don't go anywhere. My mom did tell me before I came down here, she's like, make sure you drink some water. You want to be hydrated. You don't want to lose your voice. And I go, that rarely happens, generally. And I can feel it. But I brought the water. We're all good. This is another case of Wyatt wrote a song in a weird tuning. It's called Friday Nights. And thankfully, there's a big story behind this one that I can share while I tune up. My senior year of high school, I started coming to terms with some of the anxieties I had faced, mostly social. And I realized that football games, for example, parties and all that sort of thing kind of threw me off in a big way. And there was just something about them that I'd be freaking out and couldn't explain why. And eventually figured out that it was rooted in some anxiety. But
sorted through that with the help of a bunch of great friends and therapists and all that. And this song was the outcome of that year. So it's a personal one, and that makes it a good one. They're all personal. What am I saying? But this is called Friday Nights. And may I add, it's written with 4 E's. It's got 4 E strings, which is very odd for any of you guitar players. Here's Friday Nights. Bob, I wish I could read your comment, but you know I cannot. High school days whip me around the place. Scared of my peers, and my ears seem to know what they'd say. Do my arms look small? I feel 3 feet tall in a world of smiling faces. Deep breaths get me through my days. I wonder how I'd feel if it weren't this way. The fact is, on Friday evenings I end up in the bathroom thinking everybody's at this party with their friends. I can taste my heartbeat in my throat again. Work me up to let me down and send me home. Friday nights are better when I'm alone. Football games, I tried so hard to hide my face. Have to be here, it's my senior year, but hell, I hate this place. Deep breaths getting me through my nights. I've always known something wasn't right. The fact is, on Friday evenings I end up in the bathroom thinking everybody's at this party with their friends. I can taste my heartbeat in my throat again. Work me up to let me down and send me home. Friday nights are better when I'm alone. Friday nights are better when I'm alone. Work me up to let me down and send me home. I said Friday nights are better when I'm alone. Everybody's at this party with their friends. I can taste my heartbeat in my throat again. Work me up to let me down and send me home. Friday nights are better when I'm alone. Friday nights are better. Oh, they're better when I'm alone. Something's changed, something stayed the same, but I swear I've never been happier. Taking the time to walk my line, and I swear I've never been happier. Swear I've never been happier. So that's the tune, Friday Nights, written about my senior year of high school. It's a very true story. I see a lot of comments coming in here. I'm going to try and recognize some of them. Hey, Bob, thank you for tuning in. Zanya, how are you? Nice to hear from you. Scrolling. Hi, Laura Falter. Hi, R.A. Elliott. Hi, Mom. Rose Rockwell, Amy and Chris, hey there. Thanks for tuning in. Chris, I've been loving your live streams. Anyone that doesn't know, my mom's cousin, so my first cousin, I believe, is a fantastic, and I mean fantastic, blues guitar player in the greater Boston area. And it's exciting for me because I get to move out to Boston. Unfortunately, not next month, but hopefully at the start of the fall semester, sometime in September, and he's got a lot of connections and a lot of wisdom he can bestow upon me. So I'm excited to play with my cousin Chris out in Boston, and check him out, Chris Fitz, Fitz, Chris Fitz. Well, we're slowly learning a lesson here that Wyatt needs to release more music. Hey, Walter. And we know that because we're about 30 minutes in, and the record's about halfway done. Or no, not halfway done. It's about all the way done. So I've got one more, and then we might get creative here with some new tunes, and we'll keep chatting. I would like to thank Blake Becken. Blake, if you're watching, thank you, but thank you for everything else, too. Blake took a bunch of photos of me to serve as promo for this record, and he made me look good to make the music sound good, and thank you, Blake. I really appreciate it, and you are such a star. So that's Blake Becken. Pockets Independent is his company. And I'd also like to thank Stephen Vargo. Stephen did a shoot with me last fall for Park City Magazine, and he had posted this white coffee cup on his Instagram. It was a white coffee cup with a white lid over a white background. And for whatever reason, I was just completely fascinated by it. So I reached out to him, and I told him, hey, Steven, can we do something similar for the EP, the single cover, not the EP cover? So we took this hat, we took the $2 bill, we took one of these guitar picks, and we put it out on a big piece of white paper, and I had printed out Best for You, and I had printed out Wyatt Pike. And Steven worked his magic, nudging things, and it was really exciting because it's like, oh, we want to move this title down. It's not a click and drag. It's a go move it. Oh, you knocked the other one over. Well, we're not getting that shot back. And so that was a super fun and ridiculously awesome shoot. So thank you, Steven. Steven, if you're watching, appreciate ya. And one more thank you, Jack Park. Jack is was a friend of a friend and now is a friend, a good friend for that matter. And Jack has been helping me with a whole bunch of music marketing stuff. So we jump on the phone probably more times than he wants to, but he deals with me anyways, and he helps me out with all my questions and making sure we can give this record a good breath. So thank you, Jack. Appreciate ya. All right, we're almost in tune here. I was talking, not tuning. This is a moment of why I can't tune the guitar. Stand by. There we go. The next record will have no weird tunings, no drop D, no capos. 3 rules. And I've already broken them on the new songs, but this is the last tune on the record. It's called Voicemails, and it's a branch off the same story as Because of Me, and that's part of the reason why it ends the record. Another reason is because I listened to it so much in alphabetical order as it was listed in folders when I was listening to mixes, and I realized it flows really well that way, and I like the story the songs tell in that order. And so Voicemails is the last one, but it branches off of Best for You, Because of Me.
Why did it have to end like this? From a kiss to a tame, a kiss became my everything. I threw it away. I betrayed everything that we shared. Blew something good like I never cared. I threw it away. I betrayed everything that we shared. Blew something good like I never cared. That's far from the truth. I lay awake dreaming about you. I lose sleep the way you feel you lost me. And I'll keep leaving voicemails. And I might be crazy to think maybe you'll pick up the phone. But I won't stop trying, 'cause baby, all I know is I'm yours. Baby, all I know is you're beautiful, and I can't let go. Weeknights spent sneaking out to sleep in your bed. A big bad habit of the best type. Fall asleep and we'd spend the best nights. What am I to do? I lay awake dreaming about you. I lose sleep the way you feel you lost me. And I'll keep leaving voicemails. And I might be crazy to think that maybe you'll pick up the phone. But I won't stop trying, 'cause baby, all I know is I'm yours. Baby, all I know is you're beautiful, and I can't let go. And this is where the guitar solo comes on the record. Baby, all I know is I'm yours. Baby, all I know is you're beautiful. And I feel like a fool because I lied, cheated, took it all away. A feeling so beautiful was always meant to stay. And I'll keep leaving voicemails. And I might be crazy to think that maybe you'll pick up the phone. But I won't stop trying. Baby, all I know is I'm yours. Baby, all I know is you're beautiful. And I can't, no, I can't let go.
So there's the last tune on Brand New Boy, the EP. I do want to thank everyone that's listened to it so far. We're going on 24 hours here. Oh, no, we're a little past that. 48 pretty soon. And the amount of support I'm seeing is just incredible. And it makes me wish I had another record up my sleeve for tomorrow. But I do not. Not yet, at least. I think I am going to play a new song that has only left my room a couple of times. And I actually wrote it after this whole recording process, so it is a very new one, if you will. And it's about this gap year that I took, and the fact that I withdrew from school very close to when I was supposed to be leaving. It's called For Me.
Years spent feeling I'm gonna lose it. Who said things ought to be this way? I'm better off doing what I'm supposed to, they say. They say that's the only chance I have of loving my days. Well, I've got a story to tell. Maybe I'll end up in hell, but I withdrew from school to follow my dreams, and I did it for me. I did it for me. Parents were pissed, and I was confused. I learned to make plans for what it is I want to do. Lost a few dollars on the way, played a few gigs and lived that life I chased. Lived that life I chased. Lived that life I chased. Well, I've got a story to tell. Maybe I'll end up in hell, but I withdrew from school to follow my dreams, and I did it for me, and I did it for me, and I did it for me, did it for me. We'll see what's down this path I'm on. I'll keep strumming, singing, and writing songs. Oh, we'll see what's down this path I'm on. I'll keep strumming, singing, and writing songs, 'cause I've got a story to tell. Maybe I'll end up in hell, but I withdrew from school to follow my dreams, and I did it for me, and I did it for me, and I did it for me, I did it for me.
So that's a very new one, unreleased, only out of the room a couple times. It's good to train them like this, those songs. It's got to be done. We're slowly running out of time here. If you got any questions for me, I'd love to know them. I'm taking a look at the comments here. Bruce, I will absolutely be bringing you a signed CD once I have them. Thanks, Mom. Thank you, Laura. If you guys have any questions, I can see them up here. I try not to look too much, but I'll look a little bit. And we can do some questions. And can I play a super, super new one, as in still waiting on the end of it? There's a Dan Auerbach record. It's called Waiting on a Song. And it was shown to me by a good friend, Brian Friedman. Brian, if you're on, hey there. And in this record, there's a song called Waiting on a Song. And he talks about, he's been strumming. The song just hit him on the head, and there it is. I like that idea that you just got to kind of sit there and wait for the song. So this is one I'm still waiting on, but half of it's shown up. Favorite ski run? That's a good question. For a while it was Chute 10 at Deer Valley, but I'd say right now I really like Apex Ridge on some quick skis early in the morning when it's all nice and groomed. And X-Files and Red Pine Bowl. There's too many to name. I see purple in my bedroom. Makes it seem she'll be over soon. She's not coming, and I'm nowhere near sober. I taste Heineken, I'm looking less and less like the day we met. And I like that. I like the silent night without FaceTime and phone lights. And I miss her, but I hated the time she took. Maybe I'm an asshole, but I won't let her be a crook. Please don't steal me from myself. I'm already far enough away as it is. I feel freedom on my own. Controlled, I couldn't swim, I barely lived. Or maybe I'm an asshole, but I won't let her be a crook. Please don't steal me from myself. I'm already far enough away as it is.
too controlled, I couldn't swim, I barely lived. This might be about all I have time for you tonight. But I do really, really, really appreciate you tuning in for this live-streamed, virtual, sci-fi-esque EP release stream. And it means the world to me that you guys are listening to it and encouraging me to make more music. It's a big dream come true in the last couple days and over the last couple months. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Special thanks to Greg Downs, and he's right here, Mr. Greg Downs. If you want to pan over to him, you totally can. But special thanks to Greg Downs, Jack Park, Blake Becken, Stephen Vargo, William Sangster, and Zane Peterson. This is what happens when I try and talk and play. But thank you guys. This record would not have happened without you, and I really appreciate you. Thank you to my family, my parents, and all my friends for always encouraging me to do this music thing and not making fun of me too much. And Bob, I hope I'm touring Japan sometime soon. We'll see. Will you put me up? I'll play anywhere. And Brad, absolutely, I'm excited to be out east. So this concludes my live stream EP launch. Thank you so much for tuning in, and go stream it up. It means the world to me. Brand New Boy is out now. Thank you.